it has been confirmed that Season 4 of The Boys will be the penultimate season, and because of that, a few of the important characters are bound to lose their heads. I really don't want to punish you with a long intro, so yeah, in this video we will explore the 11 characters who might just die in the 4th season of The Boys. Oh, and these are not just random entries. I have tried to give the best possible reason behind their death. Let me know if you agree with me on the list. Let's begin. Before we go into our explanation, we have a very small request. If you like our content, please support us by subscribing to our channel. This is a small click for you, but for us, it means a lot. Thank you. Let's begin.
Ain't that what your wife said?
Mother's Milk. Now, if dies in the 4th season, it would be one of the darkest events of the show, and also one of its biggest turning points. There's already a lot of chatter about how could be killed, and although Frenchie seems like the more probable one to die, we can't totally discard M's demise. So, how would that happen? Well, I believe there are two ways this could happen. The first possibility is that Homelander kills him after finding out that A-Train was in cahoots with and that he was the one who actually gave the boys the footage, which exonerated the 2 Starlighters accused of killing Todd and the 2 other home teamers. How? Well, Sister Sage might find out. I mean, she's supposed to be the smartest person alive, and she's already looking into the back-end dealings of Vought after taking over from Ashley on Homelander's orders. You see, Homelander killed Black Noir, but he was replaceable. Black Noir never showed his face to the public, and they simply got an actor to pretend to be Noir in public. But that cannot be done for A-Train, so Homelander would not kill A-Train, right? However, he can pretty much force A-Train to give M's name. Homelander, being Homelander, would obviously get super annoyed. He would lose his cool and do away with once and for all. This would give the boys a newfound reason to remove Homelander from the scene. Right now, the boys are more focused on eliminating Victoria because she might just get the top job at the White House. Another possibility is that Butcher kills For this to happen, we will have to assume that Butcher takes Compound V or Permanent V to take care of the whole Temp V sickness. He's suffering from what looks like a parasite in his head. Even Homelander knows that Butcher's days are now counted. The makers cannot just write off Butcher because he's so darn important to the show's narrative. Naturally, one way or another, his illness has to be taken care of. So how would Butcher put the genie back in the bottle? Well, there's only one way to do it, by taking Permanent V, which is known to revive even dead soup. Now, if at all Butcher does that, becomes a soup, would eventually find it out, because Butcher can't magically get well. He can't be like, oh, I'm tough, Temp V is not even that bad, or I got a new batch, they fixed the side effect. They would have the biggest fallout of all. In that case, one thing would lead to another, and Butcher might kill Of course, he would pin the blame on Homelander, and once again, the boys would get a newfound purpose to hunt down Homelander. Homelander. So, there's a couple of things that can happen to Homelander. I really hope he survives. He becomes President Homelander, goes completely nuts and paranoid, and then someone takes him out. The bigger the fall, the greater the satisfaction. Nevertheless, he might just drop dead at the end of Season 4. If that happens, the now confirmed Season 5 will have Butcher trying to execute his plan of using the soup virus from Gen V on the entire soup population to cause a soup genocide, following which others would try to stop him. So, one of the possibilities is that Butcher and company takes him down. But there's something more interesting that might happen. You remember how he compared himself to Caesar before Sister Sage? Well, if we know one thing about Caesar, it's how he died at the hands of Brutus, someone Caesar trusted blindly, someone who was a close confidant, and also the son of Caesar's mistress. So, who would be Homelander's Brutus? It could be Ash, but she doesn't quite fit the character of Brutus, since Homelander doesn't quite trust Ashley and knows that she's just a yes man. The same goes for the other members of the 7, since he knows any one of them could double-cross him. Which brings me to my best guess, Ryan. Now, Ryan is also the son of someone Homelander had objectionable sex with. Case in point, Becca. Homelander trusts the boy completely and sees him as his heir, although it's also true that Homelander is kinda jealous of his own son. Anyway, Ryan fits the bill, and he could totally be Homelander's Brutus, leading to his murder by stabbing him in the back or shooting laser beams for that matter.
Okay. We see nothing. Ça va?
Frenchie. Much like Butcher, seems like an important dude to keep around for a while. Clearly, he's a stronger character than Frenchie, who has been struggling with a lot of stuff lately, especially the fact that he orphaned the man he is boning. This is also causing Frenchie to lose his shit, and as a result, he's doing drugs left, right, and center. So much so that he even put Kimiko's life in danger, quite undeniably. Frenchie is the beating heart of the show for many reasons, and should he get killed by Homelander or any of the bad guys from Vought, the likes of Kimiko and Billy would go all guns blazing to seek revenge. This is bound to propel the story forward in a direction we all want. Although unfortunate, Frenchie's death would raise the stakes.
Ourselves a national crisis. Homelander himself said Starlight.
Butcher. Now, let's talk about the elephant in the room, also called Butcher. I know, I mentioned earlier that his death might be improbable for how important a character he is, but maybe, just maybe, they would actually let him pass away in the 4th season. But even if that happened, I'm pretty sure it will not be because of some stupid parasite or deceit. Even if he has to go, it would probably be in the line of duty. Maybe while saving Ryan after he backstabs Homelander. Butcher's bulldog, Terror. We haven't seen much of Billy's dog, Terror, in the show, right? But in the comics, Terror is a huge part of Butcher's life, sharing nearly half the panels with him. After losing most of his family, including his wife, Becca, Terror is what keeps Butcher somewhat sane and stable-ish. To Billy, Terror isn't just a pet, he's a living memory of Becca, and one of the few good things left in his life. Butcher is fiercely protective of Terror, even killing the Crimson Countess when she threatens his dog. But things take a dark turn when Butcher finds Terror dead in a pool of blood after a meeting with Jack from Jupiter and the Seven. Without saying a word, Butcher immediately goes after Jack. He corners him, holding him by the neck against a wall, and demands to know why he killed his dog. In a blind rage and overwhelming grief, Butcher repeatedly stabs Jack, even as his guts spill out, but never gets an answer. Terror's death shatters one of the last remnants of Butcher's old, happy life, leaving him even sadder and more stoic than before. So it's quite possible that Terror does not survive in Season 4. A-Train. A-Train is turning out to be one of the good guys in the Seven. I mean, he did pretty horrible things to his girlfriend, Popclaw, but he's on his redemption arc now. He didn't even raise a hand at the people who Sister Sage brought to be killed. I'm speaking of Todd and the other 2 guys. Yet, he did help in transporting their bodies to the protest site. Nevertheless, if Homelander finds out, which he eventually will, he might attempt to kill him. Another reason why A-Train might die is that Homelander now needs more people on the Seven who can abide by him and follow his commands. It's being speculated that the Gen V bad guys, namely Sam Riordan or Kate Dunlap, would join the Seven. So yeah, his outward and visible disgust and disobedience towards Homelander might pave his way for redemption, but it may also bring him in the line of fire, or Homelander's heat vision.
Ashley, you can go.
Sorry, sir?
This is a meeting of the Seven.
Ashley. Ashley could never be her predecessor, Madeline Stillwell, and it was for this reason that Ashley has survived for so long. The woman lacks spine and doesn't lactate, which keeps her at a distance from Homeland. I mean, the closer you get to that beast, the higher your chances of dying. Just ask Blindspot. Oh, wait, you can't, sorry. Homeboy zipped him pretty quick. Now that Ashley has been replaced by Sister Sage in all but name, Ashley's future seems dark. She will definitely survive a few episodes, probably as a reluctant friend to the boys because she wants out. And the sooner Homelander is dead, the sooner she finds her freedom. However, this desire for freedom might lead to her undoing, because with Homelander, your mistakes are only punished by death. Sometime, he might make you eat your octopus friend too. Firecracker. Firecracker wants to be what Stormfront and Madeline Stillwell were to Homelander. And if history has taught us anything, it's that women Homelander gets involved with don't get a happy ending. We got 3 fine examples: Becca, Stillwell, and finally, Stormfront, the last of whom had it so bad with Homelander that she had to kill herself. And Firecracker wants to serve him in any way possible, and she made it abundantly clear that she would do anything for him. Anything. Girl repeats it so many times that Homelander becomes a horn dog. Anyway, several other soups and regular humans because of some penis, breast, vagina, and bunghole mishap. Do I need to say more? It's the boys we're talking about. The list could include the likes of Kate, the Deep, Sister Sage, and just about anyone else. Victoria Newman's daughter, Zoe Newman. Now, many are speculating that it would be the Vice President-elect Victoria Newman who would die, but I feel that's highly unlikely. However, someone who might actually die is Zoe, the little tentacled soup who was strong enough to rip off Kimiko's arm. Zoe is not really the sweet child everyone thinks she is. In fact, when Billy went to secretly meet Ryan, it was Zoe who texts her mother, which was followed by Homeland crashing Butcher's little get-together with Ryan. Of course, Zoe's death would make Victoria do wild things and go all guns blazing against Homelander. She might even join hands with Marie Moreau from Gen V, who's being seen as one of the most powerful soups in the universe, and the two of them share a bond, in addition to sharing similar powers. If you remember in Gen V, Victoria and Marie shared quite a moment there. In the comics, Victor K. Newman, aka Vic the Veep, was the former CEO of Vought American and the Vice President of the United States. After President Robert Schaefer dies in a bizarre Wolverine-related accident caused by Vic, he gets sworn in as president, but his time in office is short-lived. Homelander, leading an army of soups, attacks Washington, D.C., and ends Vic's reign by decapitating him. In fact, Homelander even sodomizes Vic's decapitated head. Hugh Campbell Sr. Huey's mom finally returned to him after benefiting from him for over 2 decades. Everyone kinda hated the woman for just walking out on her young son and a loving husband, but the reason she revealed was pretty tragic. Hugh Campbell Sr. is in the hospital and in a coma as we speak, and although I hope he recovers, they might chop his character off. Another possibility is that Huey gets him some Compound V in the face of imminent death. In the animated show Diabolical, one Sun-hee got a dose of Compound V from her husband, which cured her pancreatic cancer. It's another thing altogether that the cancerous tumor actually developed sentient and wreaked havoc. Anyway, now that another parent is back, they might let Simon Pegg's character go. So, yeah. These are the people we think might not make it to season 5 of the show, which is supposed to be the final season. Think we got something wrong? Feel free to let us know in the comments. And if you liked our content, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to us. If you haven't already, have a good one and be safe. Thanks everyone.